All right, guys, go ahead and get started. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, subscribe, like, and share with a friend. Guys, my name is Paul Alex. I am founder of New American Dream and a D consulting agency, guys. So we're going to be going ahead and talking about how you guys can create content that is going to resonate with your guys' audience. And I'm going to show you today 4 different types of posts that has worked for me since 2020 across 3 different industries, 3 different niches in the online space that has allowed me to generate over $55 million in revenue, guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me do a share screen real quick. Okay, awesome. So these are going to be the 4 types of posts that you guys are going to be focusing on as a content creator. You guys want to make sure to resonate with your guys' avatar. Okay, what do I mean by avatar? I'm talking about your ideal client, the client that you want to attract, so you're able to help them get from A to Z with the problem they are trying to solve with the solution that you are able to deliver. With that being said, there are 4 main type of posts that you guys can create in the online space that you guys can duplicate not only here on school, but then also on Facebook group, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You guys can repurpose these type of posts. Okay, so as you guys know, I have spent 7 years in law enforcement. During those times, I wrote a lot of reports, and because of the writing, I was able to write very well as a copywriter in my digital marketing career now for the past 6 years. So the first type of post that we're going to be talking about is motivational. These are going to be your rags to riches type of posts, roadblocks to success, limiting beliefs, being relatable. Okay. Essentially, it's not enough that you guys are good at what you guys do, whether that's fitness, whether you're an educator, whether you guys are a financial guru. You guys have to provide a background story on how you guys got to where you guys are at. Okay. Number 2, it's going to be what we call a value post. Now, a value post could be educational, it could be the basics of the niche that you are actually going ahead and teaching, learning from your experiences from your past, and also being relatable. Okay. A value post can be something where you guys teach your audience from your experience. So let me tell you a quick story on how I was able to install my first 3 ATMs within my first month. And then I go from A to Z. How was I able to solve the problem through that experience, right? I'm giving them value. Number 3, client testimonial. These are to inspire, motivate, break limiting beliefs, and be relatable to your audience. Now, you, as the main content creator, as a coach, as a consultant, it's great. You're going to have the initial testimonial, but it is a lot more powerful when you guys are able to provide testimonials from actual beginners that have actually got help from you and your program directly. Okay. And it's going to make your audience want to buy even faster. Right. So that's why testimonials is huge. And what I tell people at the time, in the very beginning, you're not going to have testimonials. But the way I was able to get testimonials within the first couple months when I was starting my first online business and then learning about the basics of digital marketing was that I would just provide massive value in different communities in the online space. So then people are able to see that I was the expert in my niche. Okay. And because I was going ahead and providing so much value, people were like, hey, dude, could I do something because you helped me a lot, doing X, Y, and Z? Yeah, sure. Why not? Can you write me like just a nice note or a testimonial that I can use on my website? Sure. Boom. That's how I was able to get quick, fast testimonials that work, are very efficient, and you guys are going to be able to promote your offer right away. Okay. Number 4, engagement posts. These could be motivational, value based, or relatable. This could be an example of, hey, would you guys want a free copy of my frameworks behind digital marketing copy? That can be an engagement post, right? Where you're doing a call to action, you're doing a CTA, and people want to go ahead and actually react you're asking for engagement, right? So let's go ahead and go over a couple of examples on how to write great copy for any of these posts that I stated above. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples of a couple of hooks. I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you some examples for guidelines for the body of your post, and then I'm going to give you guys some examples and show you guys an actual visual. Okay. Now, as you guys know, if you guys have been following me for the past couple of years, I have been known as the cop that went to ATMs, and then from ATMs I went to credit card processing. So now I am not switching up completely, but I am diversifying because I've done this successfully multiple times, and being able to build multiple digital companies off of my framework. So now I'm educating others on how they can use the same frameworks to scale their businesses. But these are going to be examples based on my experience. Okay, guys. So, biggest thing. Okay, so here are some hook guidelines that you guys should actually take notes on. Number one, know your audience. Understand who you are addressing. Are they blue collar workers, white collar workers, entrepreneurs? What is the vehicle they're looking for, right? At that time, I was doing ATMs, Bitcoin teller machines, right? Now I do credit card machines. Right now, I help beginner digital marketers, right? So, who are you addressing? Number two, keep it short. The best hooks are often brief and to the point. Number three, ask a question. Questions can provoke thought and engagement. Okay. So here are some example hooks that I have for you guys. Number one, 3 years ago, I was on the verge of quitting. Then I learned this one life changing lesson. Number two, would you leave a $250,000 yearly job to become financially free? Number three, if you work over 40 hours and have limited beliefs on ATMs, which is automated teller machines, then this is for you, right? So, as you guys can see, those three different example hooks, the guidelines that I said, hey, make sure you guys follow, it's in every single one of those hooks, right? I'm going ahead and I'm trying to relate as much as possible from my personal experience and my background to the person that I am trying to obtain as a client. Okay. Because the person that you guys are selling is the person that you were before you reached success. Okay. So what were you looking for before you broke through those barriers? Okay, let's go through body guidelines. Tell a story, guys. Digital marketing is like a TV show, it's like a movie. You're here to entertain and educate. So, number one, tell a story, okay? You must motivate, inspire, relate, give clarity, and touch people's hearts. Number two, provide value. Tips, lessons, learn from mistakes, actionable advice. Number three, break it down like a fifth grader, or I like to say police report, guys. At the end of the day, extremely detailed and descriptive, okay? So, these body guidelines are going to help you write great copy. I always say try to be more detailed as much as possible so you guys are able to really relate to your audience. Because, especially in 2026 now, there's so much competition with just cookie cutter copywriting from ChatGPT, guys. See, the thing with ChatGPT and AI is that most people can use it. But ChatGPT and AI is not prompt or programmed to know people's specific background, their intimate details, their fears, their actual personal failures, right? And that's what your audience wants to relate to. They want to relate to those stories that got you and build you up to be that person to go from A to Z. Okay, so here's an example of something that I would write. Right, back in 2018, I was making near $250,000 a year while working as a cop. Majority of my family and friends thought I made it in life. What most people did not know was that I was working another 20 to 40 hours of overtime every week. That means 60 to 100 hours per week of work. I know you're probably thinking, Paul's crazy for working that much. There was some days where I would only get 3 hours of sleep between shifts. I slept in my car on the office floor, would consume 2 to 4 unhealthy energy drinks daily. One day I had chest pains where I thought I was having a heart attack at the age of 28 years old. I was in the path of ruining my health life fast. I knew I needed a change, but didn't want to risk my savings into a business that wouldn't work out. When I learned about automated teller machines, ATMs, I said, wow, I told myself this business is so simple. There's no way to fail. Most people think business is hard, but it's simple actually. With ATMs, if one location doesn't work out, then you can always move your ATM. This is what we call a floating asset. That's when I decided to jump right in and leverage other people's money, right? And then you guys see, I continue through the story. So you guys can actually picture yourself being in my shoes, right? The struggle, working those long hours, trying to figure it out. Don't want to jeopardize your money into a business that fails, right? So what am I doing? I'm breaking people's limiting beliefs as they're reading through this post. So to continue with this is I was able to take a 0% interest credit card for 12 months through American Express. If you're reading this now, I recommend leveraging zero interest credit cards or other funding programs that covers all your business startups expenses with a very minimal payment plan. Right there, I just gave them a massive value tip. Okay. I bought my first 6 ATMs leveraging the bank's money OPM. Then I used the 12K I had in my savings account to fill each ATM with 2K. Within my third month, I was generating $3,000. My limited beliefs were broken. I was able to stop working overtime, which was the first step to my journey of building my ATM empire to 30 ATMs and eventually become financially free within 18 months of starting. It took me almost having a heart attack to jumpstart my ATM venture. I'm glad I took the first step because it actually saved my life. In the long run, remember health is wealth. What's holding you back? Drop a comment below and share what's holding you back from starting your own business today. I hope this inspires you and be on the lookout for more posts to help you on your ATM journey. Take care, Paul. See, guys, we don't see posts like that anymore. It's just as simple as it is. You see very generic cookie cutter posts nowadays on social media because people either hire copywriters, which they don't know their background like they do. They don't know how to write, or they're having ChatGPT do it. So if you guys were to write like this, if you guys were to write very specific to who you are, tailor it to your background, tailor it to someone who's going to be able to relate to you, that's where all the cash flow is going to come in. You're going to get people buying left to right. They're gonna already have a level of trust with you. And in 2026, trust is everything, guys, when it comes to social media and then going into content creation. Right now, if you found this on YouTube, that's great because this is, the beginning of me recording hundreds of these videos. So I hope you guys are getting some value. And don't forget to go ahead and subscribe, like, leave a comment, and suggest this to a friend. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue on with the rest of this. So here's a conclusion headline as well that you guys should actually be thinking about when you guys are creating your copy. So, number one, end with a call to action. What is a call to action? It's basically when you, as a marketer, you are writing your social media posts to attract people to come and read your stuff on any platform. At the very end of your post, you want them to do an action, right? So closed mouths don't get fed. You want to write something like, hey guys, by the way, if you guys liked this post, go ahead and comment the word like down in the comments below. That's a call to action. You are telling someone to do an action, right? So number two, ask a thought-provoking question. And this is to get like more engagement on your social media platform. So this is something that you guys could go ahead and write and say something like, hey, by the way, have you ever gone through diversity like I have? Or I worked 60 to additional 80 hours of overtime. Who here works more than 40 hours of overtime, right? Or number three, are you guys looking for your additional source of income in 2026? Right? It's a question that gets them thinking and then makes them want to respond. Okay. So there's more engagement for you. And then number three, inspirational quotes or sayings will always win in my book, guys. I've been doing it since early 2020, not only because it motivates me, but because it motivates the heck out of other people as well. You got to think about it like this, especially in social media. Social media is a very lonely world, guys. People are on social media to connect with other people that they like, that they think like, that will inspire to be. So why not be the person that puts the copy or the information out there so people can consume? Right? So inspirational quotes, motivational quotes, they always work in my book. Here are some examples of conclusion examples to help you guys with your post. It's something like, remember, health is wealth, right? Or what's holding you back? Drop a comment below and share what's holding you back from starting your own business today. I hope this inspires you and be on the lookout for more posts to help you on your ATM journey. If you need some help on how to apply zero interest credit cards or how to start with your first ATM, then comment first in the comments below. And then those are the examples of conclusion examples that you guys can go ahead and use at the very end of your actual post. Now, this is what I like to call a standard weekly content schedule that typically I would use for Facebook, but then guys in 2026, now you can use it for school. You can use it for all social media platforms, but the format is just going to be different. Okay. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, I usually start with motivational posts, right? People are very busy on Monday. Why not? If you guys are running a free community or you guys are on IG primarily, I highly recommend that you guys running weekly lives. Why? Because in 2026, now more than ever, people are going to think you're AI. It happened to me today. I went on IG Live after not being on IG Live for a couple months, and people are just like, dude, I thought you were AI. I was like, no, it's just I have a couple of assistants, setters, right? You guys know, appointment setters that are just very robotic. And I've told them multiple times, guys, everybody deals with this. I told them, stop being so robotic. People are going to think you're AI. And come to find out, guess what? People in the comments go ahead and they say, hey, I thought you were AI. Right. So there you go. I don't, no lies told. So that's why I say weekly live posts where you guys can write a post saying, hey, I'm going live. These are the subjects I'm going to be talking about. And I can give you guys more examples like this. If you're watching, like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, I highly recommend that you guys look down in the description below and check out my school community. It's called Consulting for Beginners. I'm giving it a bunch of free resources, PDFs. We're even uploading a mini course up in here so you guys can learn more from me and my crew. This PDF actually that I'm training you guys on, if you guys want a copy of this, just come into the community, ask for it. I'll give you a copy. Not a problem. Okay. Wednesday, you could do a live replay post. There's going to be a lot of people that can't make it live depending on your time zone, guys. I fluctuate from time to time because I just moved to Puerto Rico last year, but I just also had a baby. So I'm transitioning now from like East Coast, West Coast, all that jazz. So at the end of the day, depending on your time zone, majority of the people that are going to watch your weekly live is going to happen the day after on a replay when they are awake or when they have time. Okay. So don't feel bad if you guys have just a few people watching you. It happens. Okay. At this stage of the game, going into year 6, I'm used to it, guys. I'm used to talking to a whole lot of people. I'm used to talking to one person. It doesn't change. It's the same thing. Okay. All right. Thursday, motivational post with a call to action. This should be your only call to action weekly. Now, let me clarify a couple things. When you guys are selling, you don't want to burn out your audience. And see, here's the thing why the marketing section always clashes with the sales section, because each section thinks they know better. But marketing, you have to juggle. And what I mean by juggle, you have to go ahead and nurture and not be too salesy. Okay. So the content has to be so good that the client wants to reach out and book a call. That's the whole point behind being a good marketer and writing good copy, like the examples that I'm giving you guys here. Okay. So your job as a marketer, especially if you're watching this video on YouTube right now, is to learn how to write your story very well in great detail, so you are able to explain the emotions that goes into building the business that you are trying to provide or the solutions that you're trying to provide in the online world, because words are going to be your most powerful asset in your toolbox when you guys are building your online program. Okay. And without marketing, there's nothing. There's no lead flow going into sales. There's no fulfillment to be had if the clients are not there to be closed. So marketing is the number one bread and butter of the entire business in digital marketing, guys. So that's why it's super important to not hard pitch every single post when you guys are making content. I see it all the time. People will drop CTAs every day. Like, people don't get burnt out. People get burnt out. They're just like, oh, here we go. Paul's going to go ahead and ask us to DM him something so that he can sell us something. No, that's why you want to keep it to about like once a week. Okay. Once a week, choose a day. Primarily, I recommend, right? Write some pretty badass, content Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Go live, do a good live. And then on Thursday and Friday, that's when you guys can ask, write a motivational post and then do a direct call to action. Hey, look, if you've been getting value this week, if you checked out my live, if you've been motivated from my stories, I'm looking for 3 additional people that I could go ahead and help with fixing this solution to this problem, right? Because we're being very specific here, especially in the beginning stages of starting your online space or online offer, right? At this stage of the game where I'm at, I'm able to spread a little bit just because I'm a little bit more senior. I have a little bit more experience. So I know exactly what will move people to go ahead and want to talk to me regarding specific niches. But since if you're watching this, more than likely you're a beginner and you are trying to figure it all out first. So this is just some word of experience. Do this one time. Okay, Friday, value post. Now, a quick reminder of what a value post is. It's basically you are providing them advice based on your experience. So if you learned a faster, simpler way to get to where you're at that people can execute, that is what you want to write on. Okay, super simple. Saturday and Sundays, typically optional. Not all marketers, from what I've seen and what I still see in 2026, post all 7 days of the week. But if you do, you can make it. You can make it any type of post that you want. The only type of post that I would recommend not to do is a hard call to action, meaning that you're trying to sell. Okay, you want more value or client success based. And then Sunday, engagement post. This is where you get a little bit more personal. Go a little bit into your background, right? Every Sunday, I typically like to go ahead. Hey guys, for everybody that's new, this is who I am. What city are you at, or what city are you from? What got you interested in watching? My content. Like, why do you want to go ahead and start with like credit card processing or ATMs, which is my niches right now, or in consulting for beginners, it'll be like, hey, what niche are you trying to scale on, or what type of online business are you looking forward to getting started on, right? So you want to engage with your audience so they're able to go ahead and tell you a little bit more intimate details about them, and then you get to build that relationship. And that's what all content creation is about, guys. It's about forming a common denominator foundation with the actual person reading the post or watching the reel or reading your tweet, and them wanting to reach out because you're highly relatable to them. Okay, so all these posts obviously should be posted in the AM, guys. I schedule my morning post specifically around 6 a.m. Pacific Central, 9 a.m. Eastern, guys. And that's it. Now, we went through the entire, okay? And this is actually a personal um, digital marketing PDF that I created for a couple of my executives that wanted to learn marketing, guys. So now you have the secrets, okay? All right, guys. So if you guys learned quite a bit on this YouTube episode, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Make sure to tune in to the next YouTube video right here. Okay, guys. My name is Paul Alex, founder of New American Dream. I'll catch you on the next one.